I think in terms of landscape and clutter is a big issue in landscape design, and the best way of dealing with that is by integrating light fixtures actually into landscape features, so that it creates a clear path and clear views. It's important to light landscape after dark if you want that landscape to be used, and I think it's really important with cities becoming much more nighttime environments and much more human environments for lighting to be considered and integrated into them.
My comment would be that most landscapes, landscapes in general, they're not really natural. They're very, very human-created, artificial environments, and therefore it would seem to me, and they often involve very modern materials in many cases, particularly for the walls, the floors, planters, that kind of thing. So I can't see why we can't use lighting in those kinds of situations. It's a technology that we've got that actually enhances those environments for quite long periods of the day. If you think about it, in the winter months, 60% of the time in the dark, you've got to have some kind of lighting, otherwise they're not seen at all. I mean, that would be my major comment to those purist landscape architects. The amount of energy used by modern light sources for a fully completed scheme using LEDs, for example, is probably far less than for an old style installation, which doesn't look even half as good, using conventional sources. So that's part of our kind of argument, is that with modern light sources you can do far more than you could before with far less energy. And I think we have to plug that message, because people just say, light, you're wasting energy. It's just not true.
I think the other thing that is important here is the role that design can play in saving energy while still creating the social benefits that are essential to be delivered. It's not only about using efficient light sources, it's about, and this is the most important thing, choosing the right amount of light and where to place it. You can create much nicer environments with much less energy, and then having chosen that design strategy to use the most efficient sources and the role of control so that it's not used when it's not needed.
And I could just add a point on that. Very, very soon we're going to be in a situation where we can almost have, with modern control systems and modern sensing systems, we can have situations where stuff isn't on when it's not needed because people aren't around. I think that's going to be the next stage, responsive landscape lighting or responsive city centre lighting, that is not when it's not there, when it's not necessary.
And the other thing that's important is that there can be a beneficial, just in the simple terms of carbon, a beneficial effect of lighting, which is if it reduces car use and encourages pedestrian use, then you're immediately decarbonising the city. But that will only work if you're creating environments that humans really want to inhabit rather than to pass through quickly.